Hello, Andrew Collishaw, homeopath and naturopath, and welcome to Body Talk for this week. Just a very quick message today. It's a bit of a reminder because in the clinic from time to time I do see people who are decreasing their meat thinking that they're doing the right thing in terms of promoting their health and their healing. Now, that's half the story. There is a real danger to this, okay? And that's what I want to talk about today. There is a danger in just decreasing your meat intake without supplementing your protein in other ways. Now, it makes sense, and we probably all know that, don't we? But it's got to be a very conscious choice that we make in terms of the foods that we are using to substitute the meat that we're decreasing in our diet. Because when we're trying to maximize our health and our healing, it's really, really important. In fact, it's essential that we have consistent and persistent levels of high quality protein in our diet. And the way we do this is by consciously substituting the meat for other foods. And for some of you, this will be automatic because you've been doing this for a long time. But for some of you, it won't be. And you've got to really stop and think, okay, what have I had today that's protein? What am I going to have tonight for my dinner that's going to be the main protein component? It's got to be a very conscious thing. Okay, so today's message is about just reminding you to be vigilant about that. It's very easy to become deficient or subclinically deficient in protein, and that's what we don't want. You see, when you're reducing meat or eliminating meat from your diet, you simply have to replace it with protein foods. Now, I guess most people know that, but it's got to be a very conscious effort that you make. Now, for some of you it will be automatic because you've done this for such a long time, you know what you're doing, and that's fantastic. But it's always worth just double checking to make sure that every day and pretty much every meal you're getting some amount of protein. And this has to be consistent and persistent. So, for example, protein is so important in the immune function. So if you're trying to heal and nourish your immune system, for example, then it's really important that you're getting adequate protein. And of course, the sources of the non-meat protein are legumes. They're the main ones. Tofu, that's a common one, of course. Soy milk. These are your non-meat sources. Eggs are another example. And we're also talking about the quality of protein. So you need to make sure when you're having these non-meat proteins that they're actually of a very good, high quality. Get organic if you can. And make sure that the foods are fresh as possible. Okay, so it's not just about substituting, it's got to be substituted with good, fresh, unprocessed alternatives, and that's really, really important. Now, the big trap that many people fall into is when you're cutting down meat or eliminating meat, sometimes we can feel hungry because we're not getting that food, we're not getting the fats in the food, because fat actually makes us feel full. So we can feel more hungry, and therefore we tend to snack more. And when we snack, it's very easy to have those processed, sugary, unhealthy, those over-refined products. And another one to watch out for is cheese. Cheese is really, really easy to eat too much of. And I remember at school, when I would come home from school, I would be starving as you are, and at that point, when in the later years of my schooling, I was vegetarian 100%, and I would come home and I would eat cheese. I would hoe into cheese, lots of cheese. Now, of course, it's so yummy. It's easy to cut off a piece. Well, in this case, it was many pieces to put it onto everything. Just be very careful. It's a really common trap to substitute cheese for meat. But any processed food, be really careful. You don't want to substitute the meat with snack foods, okay? It's got to be those other good quality protein foods that I mentioned before. Okay, so just a quick one today, and but a really important one, because as I say, I do see this in the clinic from time to time where someone has decreased the meat in their diet, thinking that it's the right thing to do. But it's only half of the equation. What they're not doing is substituting that adequately with high quality foods that are high in protein. Now, just to finish, I wanted to mention about the blood groupings, and many of you will know that, for example, O blood group are better off on a meat diet. So, of course, this can often be the case with some people, and I've got patients that are doing really well having meat in their diet. So it needs to be assessed on an individual basis, and if you are eating meat, of course it's the quality of meat that's important, isn't it? As well as the volume. So in terms of decreasing meat in your diet, I'm talking about a more general approach to health that covers a majority of people from a naturopathic perspective. There are individuals, however, who will do better health-wise on small amounts of meat and the appropriate types of meat as well. All right, okay, we'll look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye for now.